conference is being recorded. Only the main conference is recorded.
There you go. Hello, sir. This is Byron.
How you doing, Byron?
All right. I feel pretty lonely, though.
Hey, I'm here in Florida. You know they had 944 teachers call in sick Monday?
My goodness.
Wow.
You know,
That's a lot.
you know, some can take advantage of anything to call in. I know lots of teachers in my career that they used up every day whenever they got one.
Yeah.
You know? They didn't let any grass grow on their sick leave or their...
Right.
They did.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I retired, I had 184 vacation days or sick days accumulated.
Wow, 184.
And that was a full year. They used to actually pay you for the full year.
Yeah.
But they quit doing that a few years before I retired, and they just credited you a year of service instead of paying you. I would have rather been paid a year of service than a year credit. I would have too. I don't know. That's why they did away with it.
I had to pay.
When I retired, I cashed out. I don't remember how many hours I had, but I cashed out all my unused sick time and my vacation time, and after taxes, I think I got a check for like $34,000 or something like that.
There you go.
But
That's pretty much.
I think I had about 2 months of time on the books or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds right. I had 700 hours of sick leave, and I think 200 hours of annual leave. And I got something around that amount when I cashed out, but boy, did Uncle Sam get a nice chunk of that.
Oh, he sure did.
I was thinking maybe I should have used the day.
I guess in the long term, it was better for me to take a year's credit and experience, than...
Yeah.
Because I would have just spent the money.
Well,
Waiting for my agenda to download here. So bear with me here.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody here? Director Webb?
Director Webb's here.
And Director Stewart? Okay, and Mr. Washington's there. I heard you've been talking to you. And Mr. Perez, are you there?
Lizette's on the phone.
Okay, Lizette, I was going to ask for you next. Great. All right. Well, in that case, let's go ahead and call the meeting to order. Roll call.
President Greg Wood.
Here.
Vice President Rick West.
I'm here.
Director Gregory Washington.
I'm present.
Director Byron Glennon.
Here.
Director Ben Stewart.
There.
All right. And with that, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Good evening,
flag of the United States of America. The Republic
which is one nation,
indivisible, with liberty and
justice for all.
Okay. Have a motion to approve the agenda.
So move. Second, Director Webb.
Okay, motion was made by Director Glennon, second by Vice President Webb. Roll call vote?
President Greg Wood,
Yes.
Vice President Rick Webb,
Yes.
Director Gregory Washington,
Yes.
Director Byron Glennon,
Yes.
Director Ben Stewart.
Yes.
All right, and with that, we'll move on to public comment. And at this time, I will dispense with the reading of the statute, but please let the record show that we are open for public comments, and I would ask that anybody wishing to address the board, please state your name and then make your comments, and please limit your comments to 5 minutes or less. And with that, is there anybody that wishes to make any comments? All right. With that, I will close public comment. And we have closed session. We have 3 items on the closed session. Are we going into closed session on all 3?
Lizette, I don't have the agenda up yet. I just got hooked in. I know the top 2. We are, what was it, number 3?
Go ahead with that.
I would say that's going for all of them. I'm not sure if Joe has an update.
Okay. If there's no objection then I would like to get a motion to go into closed session on items 1, 2, and 3 as stated in the agenda. So I'll move.
Second by Washington.
Okay. Motion is made by Director Glennon, second by Director Washington. Roll call vote.
President Greg Wood,
Yes.
Vice President Rick Webb,
Yes.
Director Gregory Washington,
Yes.
Director Byron Glennon,
Yes.
Director Ben Stewart.
Yes.
All right. And with that, we are adjourned to closed session at 5:35. Please hang up and call in on your designated number for closed session, and we'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, are we all back?
Steve's here.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right. With that, if everybody's on board, can I have a motion to come out of closed session?
So move.
Second, Dr. Stewart.
Okay, motion made by Director Glennon, second by Director Stewart. Roll call vote?
Nobody back.
President Greg Wood,
Yes.
Vice President Rick Webb,
Yes.
Director Gregory Washington,
Yes.
Director Byron Glennon,
Yes.
Director Ben Stewart.
Yes.
Okay, and there is no reportable action on closed session items. And now we'll move on to our 6 o'clock open session. And at this time, I will open the floor for public comments. I will dispense with the reading of the statute. But I ask that anybody making public comments to please limit their comments 5 minutes and state your name for the record. Are there any public comments? All right, and with that, there are no public comments, so I will close public comments. Okay, meeting minutes, I have a motion to approve the minutes.
So move.
Second by Director Washington.
Motion made by Director Glenn, seconded by Director Washington. Roll call vote.
President President Greg Wood,
Yes.
Vice President Rick Webb,
Yes.
Director Gregory Washington,
Yes.
Director Byron Glennon,
Yes.
Director Ben Stewart.
Yes. All right, consent calendar. I have a motion to approve the consent calendar. So moved. Do I have a second? Do I have a second to approve the consent calendar? Okay, motion made by Director Glennon, second by Vice President Webb. Roll call vote?
President Greg Wood,
Yes.
Vice President Rick Webb,
Yes.
Director Gregory Washington,
Yes.
Director Byron Glennon,
Yes.
Director Ben Stewart.
Yes. All right. And with that, presentations, water reclamation plant project update, and Brock.
Thank you. Since the last board meeting, the contractor started working on the grout finish for the clarifier and effluent launder. They finished the excavation and final grading on the percolation pond and started installing the final sections of GeoWeb erosion control fabric around those basins. The electrical contractor is on site. They continue to install conduit wiring to various locations throughout the plant. Pipeline contractor is also on site. They've completed the aeration basin drain line and installed 2 vaults adjacent to the emergency overflow pond. That concludes my update on the plan.
Any questions for Brock on the presentation? All right, thank you, Brock. Okay, we'll move on to new business. Adopt resolution number 2020-15, authorizing documents and official actions relating to the installment sale financing of water system improvements. Presenter, Steve Perez, General Manager.
Thank you, President Wood. As the board will recall, when I was hired, one of the major issues facing the Rcsd was addressing the impacts of the adjudication, namely the reduction of approximately 2,600 acre-feet of water from our high pumping year. And in doing so, that represented approximately an 86% reduction of how much water we could pump from the aquifer. The adjudication is a legal undertaking by a court, and they determined how much water could be pumped out of the basin and still recharge the basin adequately, so we didn't overdraft the water that was there. This resolution is the last in a series of actions that we needed to take in order to pursue the purchase of water. After all, our main goal is long-term water stability for our community. It is to address the current and future water needs of the district and create that long-term stability from our water needs. An adequate, affordable water supply is necessary for each and every community throughout the country and throughout the world, for that matter. So, in moving forward with this resolution, it basically authorizes, as an official action, relating to an installment sale financing of water system improvements. We could get into a lot of different aspects of this issue. However, they're not finalized, and it would be premature to do so. So in working through this system, this would allow us to move forward should we consummate a deal for water. We know what water is selling for, or in the ballpark. So we're preparing ourselves to be available to partake in a water sale should we get an agreement. I have no further comments in regard to the resolution, and my recommendation is to adopt the resolution and authorize the general manager to move forward with negotiations.
Any questions or discussion from the board on this matter? And any comments from the public on this? Okay, with that, I would like to get a motion to adopt resolution number 2020-15.
So moved.
The web second.
Okay, motion made by Director Glennon, second by Vice President Webb. Roll call vote.
President Greg Wood,
Yes.
Vice President Rick Webb,
Yes.
Director Gregory Washington,
Yes.
Director Byron Glennon,
Yes.
Director Ben Stewart.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 5-0. And with that, move on to director reports, comments, future agenda items, and we'll start with Director Stewart.
I don't have anything at this time.
Okay, and Director Washington,
No comments tonight.
and Director Webb.
No comments tonight, folks.
Okay. Director Glennon.
Did you sit in on the AVAC meeting last night?
Yes, I did.
Can you explain to me what they're doing or what they're planning to do with their health care? They had quite an extensive discussion on this.
It was kind of hard to understand what they were doing. I'd never seen it before. But what I understand is it looks like they're trying to agree to contribute more towards the employees that are participating in the health insurance program. I'm not really sure how they're
Kind of a fitness program.
fitness program. So it's kind of like they're agreeing to do it as a way to encourage the participation for more employees. And because they feel that, I guess, more employees that are signed up for it will actually...
But they increased their budget to cover it.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Something we might want to look at and see what they're doing. Yeah.
I wanted to get more information. In fact, I was going to go ahead and send a note to the general manager to get more detail on what they're doing and maybe look at it for our agency.
Okay. That's the only thing I had listening to that meeting. Was the AVAC meeting was last night.
And also, my comments is that you're all aware that this agency passed an ordinance, or not an ordinance, but a resolution. Not a resolution. I'm sorry, the words have left me. Proclamation. And the proclamation for the Rosamond Prayer Day. And it was a call out to the community for the community to come together at the noon hour and to pray for the well-being and health of our community and to bring the community together and unite us into looking out for each other and taking care of each other and helping us through these difficult times that we're all going through. And I want to bring some updates on this, is that we got this information over to the school board, but their meeting, unfortunately, their agenda was already posted by the time I was able to get the information from the board president. But they did read the proclamation, and they read the letter from Steve Perez and that we had both signed, and it was read in open session at the school board meeting, and the Yolanda, their board president, stated in her public comments that she wanted to encourage everybody to participate in this, taking action on it, and I'm sure that if they would have been able to get it on their agenda, that they would have been very supportive of this and taken action. The Rosamond Municipal Advisory Council held a special meeting on September 8th to old proclamation with the same wording, calling for Rosamond Day of Prayer. And so it was very heartwarming to see the community come together for this. And I also want to give a shout out to the Rosamond News. I want to thank John for putting on this in his newspaper and to let the public know that this event was taking place and to inform the public about it. And I appreciate it very much on behalf of myself and on behalf of the RCSD and everybody participating to help get the word out. True community event. So I want to say thank you to the news, and I want to say thank you to the community, and I want to say thank you to the school board and the RMAC and all in Rosamond that came together at the noon hour on the 14th of September, and it was a good time for our community, and thank you very much. And that's all I have. So with that, we'll move on to General Counsel update. Joe?
No update at this time.
All right. And General Manager update, Steve? Is Idaho still there? Steve, you there?
Oh, here I go talking and with my phone on mute. I don't. Just suffice it to say, I don't have an update tonight.
Okay. And let's see, Assistant General Manager update, was that?
I just wanted to let everybody know that the district is going to be hosting a blood drive on Thursday, October 22nd from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. with the American Red Cross.
I signed up already.
Yes. Just wanted to let the board know that we're going to be hosting it.
Just to add to that, Antelope Valley Hospital used to have a blood bank, and I've donated 13 gallons of blood to the Antelope Valley blood bank, but they closed officially this month, and they do not plan to open back up. So if you are a blood giver, you're going to have to find wherever the Red Cross is. And how often do they come here? Was that? Do you know?
I believe we've had them at least one other time.
Okay. Because, you can give every 8 weeks, but I doubt if they'll want to come here every 8 weeks. But it'd be good for our employees to know, because they're coming from, I think they come from LA, they don't come from the Valley, where the locations would be. We need to keep that in our calendar to let people know, even if it's not here, if there's a location in Rosamond.
Normally they utilize the Kern County Library, and when the library shut them down in doing them, they asked if we could. We've accommodated them, this being the third time this year. I think we had one in July, and we had one in May, if I'm not mistaken.
Good.
Okay. Any questions for Assistant General Manager? right, thank you, Lizette. And Director of Public Works update, John?
On the line, he's not feeling well, so I'll provide just a brief Public Works update for the board. In the past 2 weeks, Public Works staff completed the monthly meter reading for the entire town. We removed graffiti at multiple locations, some of which are available. We have pictures of some of the work we've done on our social media pages. We repaired multiple service line leaks. We replaced the flow meter at our 25th Street pressure reducing bulb, which is the one of the points of connection from the west side of town to the east side of town. And Public Works staff also cleaned 6,200 feet of sewer mains. We were very happy to see that all of those mains that we cleaned in this last run were in very good condition with little to no debris.
Are we completely through with the new smart meters?
We have a handful remaining, which I had staff out the past few days replacing those meters since we cleared billing cycle. So we continue to replace those. Some of those meter replacements could take up to 4 hours per meter because of difficult and aging plumbing in certain parts of town.
So the tracks are pretty much done, but these are
correct.
The outside locations.
Correct. We're above the 99% complete number there.
And they've been holding up like they were advertised. So
some of those meters, when we first started the installation of these new meters, we started in 2013. So we have 7 years on what's expected to be a 10-year lifespan with very little issues.
Good.
Going off of memory, I believe we've had 3 meters that actually failed as far as reading incorrectly. Those issues were identified and those customer bills were adjusted to account for that error. But it gives us the ability to actually run reports as detailed as hourly reports on their water consumption. Yeah. And then we can provide those reports to the customers and compare to what they were billed.
When you say that the life on these is the 10-year life on these meters?
That is the warranty life expectancy of a water meter, correct?
Is there, are these meters upgradable where we can basically just change out some components?
The register, which is the component that holds the reading and also sends out the signal, is replaceable. We do stock replacement registers. The most common problem with those would be homeowner opening the meter box lid and dropping that on the register. But occasionally there will be issues with the programming, the electronic programming in that register, so it is easily replaceable.
Yeah, because I would imagine that the housing for the meter is probably going to stay in there for indefinitely, and but you can't get in there and replace
correct
components that would wear out or get obsolete over time.
You can also replace the internals inside the meter, so the positive with displacement internals inside of that meter. On our previous meter brand, we would go through sometimes and identify those meters and replace them, replace the components as needed. The same thing is also with these meters. We haven't run into a situation where we need that yet. A few register failures we've had.
Is there a deal on these meters, Brock, that if down the road, that, without having to go out and buy a whole new car, that you can actually upgrade the meters, at a fairly reasonable cost? Like, in other words, when we reach the 10, 15-year mark on these meters, we can go in and for basically a third of the cost of replacing the meter outright, that you can actually upgrade it to with the latest, greatest technology and things of that nature.
So the register being the part that holds the reading, the electronic components of it, the part of the meter that actually sends out the signal, is the most expensive component of the meter. So that is replaceable and upgradable as better technology comes available, such as centralized meter reading if we want to install towers on our district office. We could go through and replace all of the registers throughout the entire town. The cost of that register probably makes up close to 75% of the cost of the meter, but it would save us significantly because the time to change out a register is about 1/10 the time to change out a meter. So we would save a lot of money in labor costs and upgrading that.
Just in the time.
Correct.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm glad to hear that they're upgradable.
Absolutely.
Not like a computer where you got to basically throw it in the trash because it's just obsolete and Yeah.
And that's something we looked at early on in this meter change-out process. When we started the meter change-out, the centralized collections method wasn't perfected yet at that time. And as it was perfected, we were roughly 25% into the meter change-out, but we already had a lot of the meters in stock for the entire town. We didn't want to spend the money to change course halfway through, but we did learn that it is upgradable as we move forward.
That's good. Okay. Well, good job. Okay, any questions for Brock on the Public Works update? And Brock, do you have a report on your public manager?
That's all I have to report tonight.
Okay. All right. And if there are no questions for Brock or anything, then I would like to get a motion for adjournment. So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Director Glennon, second by Director Stewart. Roll call vote.
And Greg Wood,
Yes.
Vice President Rick West,
Yeah.
Director Gregory Washington,
Yes.
Director Byron Glennon,
Yes.
Director Ben Stewart.
Yes.
All right, we are adjourned at 6:42, and thank you, everyone. Next meeting. Good night.
Good night, everyone.